So today we're talking about intuition is God's knowing itself. And I brought this poster, a practitioner student that I had quite a while back made it. And it says, explore a new world, discover yourself. So that's really the bottom line, is that when we explore ourselves, when we turn within to get to know ourselves better, it really is God doing the work. And we can trust that inner voice because that inner voice is God's voice. Ernest Holmes defined intuition this way: God and man revealing to him the realities of being. Just as instinct guides the animal, so would intuition guide man if he would allow it to operate through him. The ability to know without any process of reason. So we all know what we know. I had this boss one time who was not my best boss, and I had said something in passing, and he very confrontationally said, "How do you know that?" Well, I don't know how I know. I have no idea how I know. I just know. So that's the intuition. Not being able to explain it necessarily, not being able to put it together in reason, but just knowing that you know. And that's the God essence within you that calls forth the truth, calls forth the wisdom, calls it all forth. Brene Brown, who wrote The Gifts of Imperfection, defines intuition this way. She says, intuition is not a single way of knowing. It's our ability to hold space for uncertainty and our willingness to trust the many ways we've developed knowledge and insight, including instinct, experience, faith, and reason. Including instinct, experience, faith, and reason. All of the things that we put together that we can't define, we can't sort out. And intuition is being willing to sit in that uncertainty, trusting that what you know is what you know, that it is the God essence of you flowing through you. What you know is what you know. So, one sure sign that we're not trusting our intuition or the God voice is that we start asking other people their opinions. What do you think I should do? What do you think that means? Well, we are our own authorities, and we should never turn our power over to anyone else. We know that we know, and we can trust it. When we start asking questions, when we start asking opinions from other people, we know that we are not listening to our God essence. We're not listening to the deepest wisdom of ourselves. On Meet the Press this morning, I don't know who it was because I only caught a little handful of conversation. But some fellow was saying that we need to turn back to the principles of Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. That we have, as a country, lost our souls. We have, as a country, lost our integrity. We've lost our values, and we've lost our family. We've lost our wisdom. And he said, this is the part that struck me, there are no leaders to hold those values for us. And it's up to each individual now to stand in the values that this country is supposed to represent. That we each need to stand in to be courageous enough to practice the principles of nonviolence, to practice the principles of civility. We, each one of us, intuitively know that to be the truth. That is God's wisdom speaking through each one of us, calling us back to who we truly are, each one of us, calling us back to the center of our essence, to our God self. And you know, there's a difference between gathering information and going outside ourselves and abdicating our own authority. We do not, at this time in this place, need to look for leadership. We're it. It's up to each one of us to be the leaders that we seek in our country and the leaders that we seek in our life. So when we start looking outside of ourselves, we know that we have lost that part of us that is our intuitive God selves, calling ourselves back to the truth of who we are, each one of us. Our intuitive God self is the leadership that we seek in this country, the leadership that we seek in our lives. And it's up to each one of us to be the civility that we long for, to be the love that we wish for, to be the family that we are as a culture, as a community. And I'm so blessed and moved by this community because that's who we are. We're loving, supportive, caring people. And we care about each other, and we care about the values that science of mind, religious science, Ernest Holmes teaches us, that we are all God made manifest. You know, when we talk about looking for answers outside of ourselves, I don't know about you all, but as I explored these principles, I took a side trip to and through New Age. I turned to the tarot cards, I turned to I Ching, I turned to what other sorts of divination there might be, maybe even the Ouija board. But those were just tools to come to an understanding of my own authority. I don't need those tools any longer. I don't have to go outside myself. None of us do, to look for answers. The answers are within us. That's the truth of who we are. That is our intuitive God self. So, you know, it's okay if we want to do the tarot cards, or it's okay if we want to do the I Ching. Those things are all right. They're just methods and ways for the universal essence to speak to us in a way that we can understand. What happens, however, is that often we turn to supposed experts outside ourselves. The tarot reader, the palm reader, the whatever. That's fine for them. But you know what is right and perfect for yourself. You don't need an outside authority to tell you how to live your life, how to be in harmony, how to be in love, and how to live in peace. You know it. One little exercise that I have used in the past, and I highly recommend it, is to flip a coin. If I'm in a place of indecision, if I'm in a place that I don't know what my answer should be, I flip a coin. And when it lands is when we figure out what we really need to know, what our answer truly is. It's not the way the coin flops. It's the way that we feel about the way the coin flops. So we really know immediately. It's not heads or tails, it's how I feel about heads or tails. That's the truth of my knowing. That's who I truly am, and that's who the answer that I truly need. Wayne Mueller says this: who are we? Desperate for an answer, we rush to discover and define ourselves through analysis, therapy, activities, accomplishments, and successes. Yet, when we allow ourselves to be still, we invite a different kind of knowing. We allow our intuition to overcome those small and secret truths that lie deep within us. Most of us spend our lives carrying a host of questions and problems around with us. Questions that, in the quiet wisdom of our deepest heart, may already have been answered. In stillness, we can hear the accuracy of our intuition. In silence, we can hear the still, small voice of our spirit, teaching us what is true, reminding us of what is necessary, what is healing. There rests, deep within us, a clear voice that knows our deepest hearts. Confusion arises only when we are too busy or distracted to listen. Be still, said the psalmist, and know that I am God. Be still and know that you are God. The divine expression is who you are. And you have all of the wisdom, all of the truth, all of the peace, all of the answers of the universe within yourself. You need only be still. And the answer will come to you. You can flip a coin. You can do tarot cards. Do the I Ching. But the clarity comes from yourself and your own intuitive understanding of what the answers are. And for us, at this time and this place, the answer is personal civility. The answer is being kind. The answer is loving, wholly and completely and peacefully. If I do not do that, who is going to? If I do not express my intuitive wisdom of love and peace and harmony, who is to do it? The Dalai Lama said, if you think that you are too small to affect a change, you have not spent the night with a mosquito. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? We all have the power of the small because we are dynamically expressing the Godness that we are. We're not all of God, but all that we are is God. And just like a mosquito, we are powerful beyond measure when we set our mind to something. When we determine the action that we need to take, because it's God's action. When Mueller suggests this exercise, he says, try to go through an entire day assuming that you are trustworthy, that all your feelings are accurate, that all your perceptions and intuitions are reliable. As you approach each person and situation, ask this question. If I knew I was absolutely trustworthy, how would I handle this moment? What would I do? What could I say that would be true? What would be the right action to settle this situation with safety and clarity? Once we begin to imagine that we have all that we need to answer the questions of life within ourselves, it is amazing how quickly our habitual fears begin to melt away. You know that you know. You have all of the answers within you. The question is, what is the question? What is your motivation? What is it that you wish to create within your life? And you know that too. So I invite you, in a way that works for you, to take Wayne Mueller's test, this exercise, to go through an entire day assuming that you're trustworthy, that all your feelings are accurate, that all your perceptions and intuitions are reliable. Because that's the truth. They are. You don't need an outside authority to give you the answers. You have all of the answers, all of the questions within you. So, like the poster says, explore a new world. Discover a new world. Turn within and explore and discover yourself. You know that you know. And at this time, at this place of human intersection, of humanity, the world needs you. The world needs your clarity and your wisdom. It needs your peace and your harmony, and it needs your love. You have everything you need to effect a change. You are divine mosquitoes. You're divine essences. You are expansive beings beyond measure, because you are God made manifest. You are what the world is calling forth right this moment. So I challenge you to live a day totally trusting yourself and your own wisdom, totally knowing that you are the authority within yourself. You're the authority within your life. So, I love each one of you. You are what the world is calling for. You have everything you need. Namaste.
Namaste.
So I would invite Kate and Steve to join me as we hold this community in prayer. At this moment, I turn within to that sweet place of wisdom, to that sweet place of knowing. And with my heart open wide, I listen to and for the divine guidance, the divine wisdom, the answers that are mine to share with the world. I intuitively know that I know. I intuitively celebrate the answers that come to me. I take the steps, the next right step, to express the goodness that the world is calling forth as me, through me. I commit myself to being available to the guidance and the direction and the harmony and the peace that the universe, that Godness, that essence of who I am, is calling me to be. I know that I know. I have all of the tools that I need. I step into my magnificent wisdom. And as this is true for me, I absolutely know it is true for you and for each one of us. We are powerful. We affect the change that we are seeking. We are God made manifest. And so with courage, with certainty, I step into that role. And I call you to step with me, to wear the mantle of the divine, to know that you know. I give thanks for it all. I celebrate it all. And I claim it for each one of us by declaring it done and by saying, and
So it is.
So it is.